Very current.
Sounds like Christmas music.
It's my boys.
All the boys.
You know who it is.
Listen, tell me it doesn't sound like a Christmas song.
You know who this is.
I know it's the but it still sounds like a Christmas album.
Oh, well, it all sounds the same.
I feel like I am like the Jonas Brothers in a way.
The thing of it is, first of all, SiriusXM is doing a contest that you can join them for one concert and be the fourth Jonas brother.
Stop.
Yes.
Did you sign up?
No, because I was worried that it would be super weird.
It would be. The Jonas Brothers and
I'm old enough to be I'm the same age as their father, I think. So yeah.
I was thinking about that too. Like literally it's the first day of school today or yesterday. And I was like, I'm so far from the first day of school. I'm so far. I mean,
I'm in a chat with some other people and they're sharing pictures of like
wait.
kids' first day and all this stuff.
Chat with other people?
Not with you. Yes, I know. And
Oh.
I had to write like I have no one even starting college. It's my first time. Like everybody's out of college now.
Sweet baby's gonna start college, but next year when it's the first day of school, I'm gonna take a picture at the pool with the margarita and be like, first day of school. That's what we should do.
He's going to grad school though, isn't he?
No, it's his senior year.
But he's going to go to grad school.
I don't know because we got life in.
Oh, he's going to be married this time next year. Is that what you're saying?
He's supporting his future wife this time next year as they go to grad school.
Listen, Olivia would be open to being a kept woman. He's got to.
Listen,
he's got to. Just so you know.
No, that's what he knows. So
Olivia has. So she's, for everyone's edification, she's my middle child. She has her third year of law school. She's her third year of law school in 2 weeks. That's all I got, really. And that law school, that doesn't really count. I'm not doing anything for that. That's all her. But third year, and that's it. I harassed.
Sorry.
What is
the
that?
Academy wanted to give me a 50% off coupon.
Oh my gosh. Can you silence that phone? I harassed, and I'm going to use the word harass, and I'm going to apologize, Nikki Russell last week because I was like, where have you been? We miss you. Because I know she has a wonderful new gig, and she's killing it.
Is that what it is? Is that why we
killing it? They don't know what they would do without her. I'm going to say all the things. They have no idea what they would do without her.
I mean, she used to be our ride or die. I guess, I didn't think it was,
She's still that here, though. Center. The job, listen, y'all, we know some of you are watching this way after the fact. You can't join us live because of work, and we love that you still watch and listen after the fact. Please keep doing that. Thank you all so much for that.
I just feel like that's why the Jonas Brothers is like so like, first of all, I feel in because they were like, yeah, we spent all our money and we had to make a change. And so the brothers came together to have, make a song.
Yes.
And I'm grateful for that, which is so great. I don't think I've ever heard anybody just be like, yeah, well, all that camp rock money is gone. So we're going back on.
Here's the thing. And I sent it to all three of my kids the other day. They're on tour and they were in Vegas. I think it was over the weekend. I think it was Vegas. And they're having like all kinds of random people like come out and play a song with them and that sort of stuff. And Demi Lovato was there and they did Camp Rock. And it was Joe and Demi did Camp Rock. I was like, I would have this.
I mean, and we, just in case you're like, why did y'all watch Camp Rock? Our kids are what? Our ages?
Yes.
Like 24, 22. How old are yours?
Yeah. 26, 24, 22.
So we were full of
All of it.
High School
High School
Musical,
Musical.
Camp
Yep.
Rock,
Yep. Yep.
and all those shows. That's why we still,
The beach one as well with the
Yep.
yes. All the they never got into the zombies one. It was a little past the fact for them.
Right.
But they did Camp Rock stuff, and I was like, I love everything about this and wish I were in the audience. It's great. They've had all kinds of people just come out and play a song with them. They just had Switchfoot was there, and they played a song with Switchfoot, and I was like, what in the world?
Man,
awesome.
Yeah. Hard. Listen, we are in a full recession.
We are in a full recession.
What they say.
But they were videoing Joe and Demi singing, and the entire crowd was singing along. I mean, everybody was singing Camp Rock.
I love that LinkedIn user said that they had a High School Musical sing-along. I feel like we should have a But First Coffee High School Musical sing-along edition, or we just just bust
all
out
three of those movies. We should just do like a Mystery Science Theater. Mystery Science Theater. Anybody watch that MST3K? Like, I love that because they are so sarcastic and make fun of these movies while they're watching them. If you've never seen it, it's hilarious. And it's been out for decades. Like,
and the movies are funny and bad on their own.
Absolutely. But could you imagine if we did like our version of that, watching High School Musical? Oh, so fun.
At least once a quarter, we should do a musical. Like, we could just do Annie. We can have costumes. It'll be just like Little Rascals. We'll just come out.
My executive producer just told me, just reminded me, I did know, just reminded me and the kids that she and her brother did a performance of The Sound of Music when they were kids for her parents. And so she was all the female characters, he was all the male characters, and they sang and did the whole Sound of Music. That's a long movie.
That's long.
It's a long movie.
We'll do The Wizard of Oz. That is another.
How about The Wizard of Oz, by the way? Anybody seen the news this week? Wow. So tickets went live for The Wizard of Oz at the Sphere in Vegas. Blew the doors off of all expectations. Something like 140,000 tickets in some short period of time. It's crazy. Everybody wants to see it at the Sphere.
I want to see it at the Sphere. And
we'll be there. We'll be there. It's showing during HR Tech. Some vendor needs to take us there. Come on.
Somebody needs to sponsor us.
Could you not imagine? Although you and I could be screaming instead, like all the music of the Wiz instead.
I don't know. I know that you get my newsletter, whether you open it.
I do. Are you weird? I was just the one harassing you about your video.
That's right. Sorry, you did watch. Because last week I did a Diana Ross theme in my own head, and I thought you're the only one that was going to get any of the songs referenced to any of the text. So
good.
I mean, and that was the one, the Wiz, when they were like, "He's on down the road."
Although I feel some sort of way about the Wiz, just so that you know, I love the Wiz. That's not what I mean.
When I think of home, I think of
they cut Stephanie Mills right out of that movie role because of Diana Ross, who was 10 years too old to play that role.
Listen, she was
10 years too old to play that role.
Little short little wig on there. She didn't.
And she was all wafy and that kind of stuff. It was those Mia Farrow years for everybody. Everybody thought the like wafy little wispy thing, right?
That was the thing. That was the time. And Stephanie Mills, let's just talk about it. She was big.
She owns that role.
I'm just saying, because that's not the first time. Think about all the times that they did that. Even people like now.
Julie Andrews, they cut her out. Do people not know that? I mean, My Fair Lady, that was her role on Broadway. And when they went to the big screen, cut her right out to put Audrey Hepburn in. Cut her right out.
You ever go and look at like the wax places where they have the actual outfit?
Madame Tussauds? That
are tiny. Yeah.
Tiny.
These people are smaller than you think. Like the ones that you're like,
Audrey
oh, they're
Hepburn.
really big. If you
Audrey
go look at that Marilyn Monroe dress, all her dresses, and she
This
was
is Audrey Hepburn, everybody.
can't even see her. Look, it's like this. She's hiding behind that pen.
I mean, and it's so here's this. I don't know if George is here. Here's the segue. It's no wonder that we have bad attitudes in our organizations. Come on.
Right. That's the way they make us look when we go, take it
No
out.
wonder. It is.
No wonder.
You said you actually used a word that we don't use very often when it comes to But First Coffee this morning. You said you did research.
I know, but I stopped right at when I saw as soon as I saw Achievers, because I also have ADHD. So I saw Achievers and I said, "Oh, let me go get my jacket." And then
you are mirrored again. Why does your camera keep reverting back? I don't understand. There you go.
Thank you, Jamie, because I'm like, what's happening?
I know. Hold it up again because it was all backwards. Hold the jacket up again. No. Switch it back. There we go.
Jamie has to.
Yeah, he did it.
And look, I put.
I know, and I've got one too. We've got matchy. So for our first day of school, instead of the pink ladies, here comes.
That's right. Here come the Achievers.
One-eyed, one-horned, blind, purple people eaters.
Do not forget it. Do not forget your jacket.
I love that jacket. It's a great jacket.
And it's
Thank you, Achievers. Shout out to Achievers. Thank you for those gifts. We appreciate it. But it is really interesting. I love the title this week of Employee Voice because it is not. I'm telling you, I will absolutely say this is August of 2025. I don't know that I've heard that phrase or terminology, employee voice. I'll at least say all this year. I've not heard anybody.
No. Listen, I told somebody else. They were like, well, what about candidate experience? I was like, out the window. Nobody cares about that. It's all about efficiency. It's all about, I hate this hair. It's all about how much can we do for how long? It's not about any of that. Nobody cares about that. Like, just stop. Just stop. In fact, fun fact, I created last night because, you're
so good with video that you had plenty of time.
Not a good sleeper, created a program to scrape my Gmail of all of the applications, acknowledgement of receiving an application and rejection emails. So it syncs together so I can see. I was like, because, and just send me an email. Like, I don't need to see it. So it does it every 4 hours, takes them out of my Gmail because there's nothing worse as you're clicking around and you're like, dee, and it's like, by the way, no. And it's just like,
no.
Created a program to suck it all out and just let me know. And it grays it out. If it's been rejected, it just grays the name out. It doesn't go into a big thing because employee voice doesn't have anything to do with it. You saw what happened with Oracle Cloud. Oracle Cloud, the thing that makes me so upset, the people that invented Oracle Cloud are being replaced by AI and they're no longer needed. Thank you for setting up the infrastructure for us to actually take your job. I don't know which is worse, like training your replacement or training and developing a whole program across an ecosystem that is your job.
Well, the premise of our topic is really interesting in that we're connecting employee voice to organizational success. And to me, what I kept thinking about in my prep for this morning, what I kept thinking about is who defines organizational success. Because if you're Oracle, in that exact example, if you're Oracle and you're on the board, you're thinking, what we've succeeded. Look at what we've been able to do and create, and how we're at the forefront. There's success metrics in that. By the way, I'm not trying to be sarcastic. They're legitimately
they are making more money than they ever have, hand over fist. But the investments that organizations are making is not in the people.
No. I mean, it in this example specifically, I'm sure the individuals who have been caught up in this quote unquote success,
that's right,
they may not feel like it feels successful.
And it's not like the people's type, the thing that was hurtful, because we've seen this and this is the industry we're in. So
Yeah.
no shock. The thing that was hurtful from a couch observer was, I just lost my job, the regular normal thing. And then you look at title and they're the vice president of the PMO. Like, what?
Yeah.
The senior director of software development for Oracle. What?
I know. And there's going to be the layering is really thin. The layering is really thin. So you're looking at, to exactly what you're saying, the infrastructure up the chain, way up the chain.
Way up the chain. Way up the chain.
That layering is going away. It is much thinner. And in fact, it isn't going to be this way for every organization right away, right? Oracle's a tech company. And by the way, we're just talking about Oracle because it's recent, but there are other organizations that are in the throes of this as well that are heavy tech related. I think we're going to see it there first. We are seeing it there first.
But what's happening is it's changing the infrastructure of organizations back to where we were late 90s, middle management, taking on more responsibility, doing both managing and hands-on, expected to be right there in the mix of it.
Yes.
And that's...
This is my wisdom for today. Invest.
I thought it was a honey mustard.
Invest in pretzels, because for some professionals in some industries, this is going to be your snack food of choice for a long time to come. It's going to take a while for this to turn the tide, for everyone to find a place for the expertise that they have. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm being honest.
No, I told you.
I don't know what your inbox is like in LinkedIn. My inbox in LinkedIn is full. I'm not exaggerating. Flooded, yes, with friends and colleagues who are displaced, who are, hey, John, if you hear anything, hey, John, do you have anything? Hey, John. And please, I want to make sure everybody doesn't give me a hard time. I love that I can be seen as a resource, and make sure, please, for you as well, keep that coming, because I am trying to link people up. But the amount that's coming through, I can't ignore it. It's telling me what's happening.
It is absolutely, like, literally, I have to remind myself, and like my mentor had to say, I was like, I have these various contracts, but the work having to do is really a lot. The work, and I don't know, I might want to go back to corporate. And
every time it goes straight to my sternum.
No, listen. Sweet baby TJ, Todd, and Clay, their texts go through, even if it's do not disturb. So.
Well, give it to Scooby to take into the other room.
Okay. All right. Okay. Speaking of which, no, but I told you, Todd's school, hi, John.
Good morning, John. I know. And I'm glad you're saying something, John. By the way, everybody else who's here, I'm sorry, Jackie, I just cut you off. Please. Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
Please put into the chat here your LinkedIn profile and what you're looking for. Please do that, because we do have a number of people, not only now, but afterwards, who are reading through this and commenting post the fact. So please do that.
And the research.
Sorry, Jackie. Go ahead.
Come to connect. Because my mentor was just like, I was like, I'm feeling some kind of way about this, right? And then it was like, but with executives, of course, it wouldn't matter. It's still going to take a longer amount of time. And it's like, no, like the feast or the way that the pendulum swings between, I can't make your rate to, oh yeah, I can afford. And then you're like, wait, the feeling of value or where you're like, am I important? I'm making a video, and John will be a part of it. I was going to tell you before, where I was like, I
will not do. I told you I don't do that anymore. Not since college. Everything's paid.
Do it for the team, or else we're moving in the Claytons. But I was talking to Kieran, and I was like,
all right.
I'm so covering it. I was like, listen to this job description. I say I'm perfect for it, right? And I was like, right. I was like, didn't I do this for you? She was like, yes. And I was like, they rejected me. And I want other people to know. I told her, I was like, this is not to criticize the company, but this is just to let people know, like, this is going on. I wanted to put all the people who have worked with me and read this job description and be like, didn't I do that for you? Why am I rejected? And I want people to say, they can be funny, but real, like, why do you think I was rejected? And let's just be real with it. And I'm going to be putting that video out in a couple of weeks because
I love that. And I would be happy to participate. But this actually connects a little bit to what we were talking about last week as well. And so when you have a voice, and I'm going to even go one step back further, right? We're saying employee voice today, but when you have a voice that you don't genuinely, not just feel in terms of like, I'm having a bad day, but you really have a strong sense, a really strong feeling of, I cannot find a platform, a place for my voice. I am not able to get in where I thought I would easily be able to get in, whether that's a job, whether that's a community. For some of you, I know you get very frustrated, and I get it, even in some speaking opportunities or panel opportunities where you're like, why I have great things to share about this perspective. Why am I always passed over? The more that happens for individuals, it is psychologically affecting your willingness to participate. You're going to it's like touching the hot stove. You're going to keep backing away the more that it happens. And what does that do then, right? Long term. I think we have to really be thoughtful about voice in that way.
Yes. And I was saying that originally for other people, but secretly for myself. And I'm at the point where I was like, I don't know if I can do this. You have to, regardless if as you're consulting and doing all this stuff, as you're looking for work, you've got various things going on, you still are going to be, go through the paces and make your connections and doing all the stuff. And the question is it of the value of the role to the overall organization with having that shift is not balanced with what's the reality of the people. Like, what I mean is, sure, understanding technology, understanding the efficiency, understanding implementing more automation, and there are not as many people needed. I get that.
Yeah.
But then to also let employee experience go downhill, employee morale go downhill, the candidate experience, and then not needing as many HR business partners because we don't have as many people, and then throwing all these people to look for jobs where now it's like a freaking cat fight where people are fighting for crumbs.
Yes.
Right. And then the CEO is going to be like, what's going on? That's why, like, the backlash that's going to happen along with people losing resources at the same time. People are losing resources, not having those opportunities in their own communities because of the infrastructure, because of all the changes. I mean, like, in Texas, where I am, there's like a full war going on. Like, don't ask nobody for nothing because all their bosses are out of town. And at the WISD, they stopped coffee. My husband reminds me every morning. He was like, I can't leave. I need to take a cup of coffee because they are no longer providing coffee for teachers because the budget went down. And all of them are just walking around. They're running into walls. They're like yelling at people. They are caffeine deficient. And the morale
is
every morning.
Crazy. Coffee has gotten crazy.
They go into the break room and they're like, oh yeah, no coffee.
I mean, but this is where we are now. Listen, I know the tension though is real in the sense of, because listen, we're equal opportunity here. The tension is real when it comes to the employee experience. My gosh, now you're taking away my cup of coffee in the morning, and then you look at the budget, and if as the business owner or as the financial responsible person,
that's right.
I could just tell you my own experience. I'm going to put it out there. I like Cafe Bustelo. That's the coffee that I typically buy.
I like that too.
It's espresso. I like a dark coffee. That's what I make. Okay. I will tell you, since I moved, so I've been in Florida 4 years now. when I first moved here, I could go to Sam's Club and get a 4-pack for $13.96. I went this past weekend to Sam's. It was $19.94. The same 4-pack.
I love, because I used to live in South Florida, and it was always, I loved it, but always a value brand and compared to like community coffee or whatever.
$6.
That's huge.
Huge. Think about in 4 years to go up there. So incremental. I mean, that's a high percentage. And so, yes, I know that schools have this budget to be. I'm not trying to minimize it. Yes.
This is what we talked about last week. When you need to make budget cuts, please involve people in HR. Because I'm telling you, if they talk to people who understand HR a little bit, they would have said, get rid of printing, parent teacher, and do those to half sheets. Don't get rid of the coffee.
Yeah.
Because of what happens to the morale of the person and what they'll be able to get through. Getting rid of coffee, like,
I know.
Have to look for something else. You have to involve people in this process, because
bring the teachers pretzels. Bring them.
They asked somebody in finance made that decision. That was not
100%. 100%.
You know what I mean? They would have been like, stop, get generic ranch dressing. Don't get rid of the coffee. Like,
I know. I think, and this is where, again, and Mark, I'd shared your comment. Good morning, Mark, by the way. We're glad you're here. Mark. This whole idea of engagement survey, right? This annualized, let's hear from our people, right? The conduit for employee voice, probably the largest conduit that we have that happens regularly for a number of organizations, is the annual engagement survey. And Mark made the great point. It's a huge problem because, first of all, we never discuss it. People get those results. I have the privilege of working with organizations. They're going through the results that were gathered 3 months earlier and trying to make decisions based on that feedback. And I'm like, well, we don't even know if these things are still true. Right. Or what's the impact of some of these changes that might get made? You're going to wait another 9 months to find out if this has been helpful or not, because that's the next time the survey's happening. And like that cannot be the way in which an organization says, that's how we hear from the people. For our success, we listen to our people, and it really is just once a year.
When is the last time you heard that? They don't even say that. They don't even say that. Oh, TJ left the top. That's he's telling me that he didn't take the banana bread out of the oven. Come with me. Let's take a walk.
Is it dinging that it's done in the oven? Yeah. No, not the text. I mean, is the oven beeping?
Yeah.
Ay.
Listen.
First of all, your kitchen is cute.
It is cute, but there's lots of it's kind of a mess.
Nobody cares if the kitchen's a mess. Oh, first of all, you look cute with this scarf today.
But you know what happened yesterday?
We're now doing a cooking show, everyone. We've now
equal opportunity.
Oh, yes, Jamie, focus it more on Jackye, because she's got, oh my gosh, I said focus more and not get rid of me completely.
Look, everybody's gonna.
This is like, you're just like Joanna Gaines. This is great.
Like, let's look. Ooh, everyone.
Ooh, look, come close with that. Jojo, bring it closer.
Lovely.
Up higher. Ooh, that's nice.
It's a lovely.
It actually looks really nice.
We made it extra moist with a 3rd cup of Greek yogurt. I'm going to kill that kid. Dead. I mean, I know that's not good for an alibi, but really? Seriously? Sorry, Mom. I got to go with my girlfriend to breakfast.
He had it coming. He had it coming.
We'll do that one a month. If you'd have been there, if you'd have seen it.
We are so good with that. That's awesome.
I love Chicago.
Listen, Nancy, let's do that. Nancy wants you, after the show's over, put the recipe in the chat, please.
Recipe in the chat, because it's delicious and it has only 3 bananas.
You're hilarious. I know. Sweet baby TJ. Why I oughta.
Thank God I actually my mom taught me to do the dishes as you prepare, or else we could have gone in there and it could have been not.
I'm telling you, the idea. Oh, Dion, good morning. Orgs can get their responses and analyze within 24 hours. Dion, come on.
Right.
I'm going to tell you something right now. Now, this is where let me reach around, pat myself on the back,
Right.
because she is 1000% correct.
That's
and
right.
if you don't have the tech that's able to support not just the scorecard analysis of the results that have come in, categorizing things, but can't give you the consultative support you need within a week to kind of look at these things and what should we do? What are some areas what themes are we seeing? When someone says, it'll be better here, I would enjoy my job much more if someone would pay attention to the Milky Ways in the vending machine, because we constantly run out of these Milky Ways. And I hate my job because every afternoon I'm hoping to get myself a Milky Way, and Brad takes the last one every time before I get there. So if we could have 2 rows of Milky Ways in that vending machine, life here is going to be much better. And that is my voice, and that's what I want you to hear. So what do? We make the organization think that success is, we got that second row of Milky Ways in there.
That's right. But at least I remember one time when we had to decide on the coffee, when we literally did have to vote. And I remember you think this is helpful? I know you don't want people upset and complaining, but they are going to anyway. Just buy the damn thing. Do the thing. It was weeks.
And if you do it once a year and now you have the second row of Milky Ways, I'm going to tell you something. 2 weeks later, there's something else wrong. Because all it is you've made it transactional in that regard.
And Brad, by the way, got more appointments for the dentist. Now his insurance is going up, and there's still no Milky Ways. Still no Milky Ways, because now he eats two rows.
Everything just reset for me. Let's see if I'm connected to all the right things. I don't know. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay, good. I think that this is, again, Dion, thank you for that comment. If you don't have a good technology partner and consultative partner to those things, I would say you've got to look. It's the time. It's the time to negotiate a better deal with somebody else so that you can get the results you need. If that's really the primary way that you pay attention to the employee voice. If that's it for you, you got to do it really well.
But the other part is you have people that aren't paying attention enough to the business to see some of these things happening. I guarantee those cloud people at Oracle were like, oh, no way.
Right.
You're the key of this organization.
Right.
There's no way they would get.
That's right. That's
right. Brought in all the income.
Until Hal takes over.
Replacing themselves. No. The one guy that I saw, he had been at Oracle for 10 years.
They give him a watch or anything?
I don't even know. I don't know. If you look at the press release, they were key to say some of these people were for performance. I don't know. He might have been one of those.
It took him 10 years to figure out he couldn't perform. That's
it's his knee. It's his knee. It's his wrist. He's not throwing. He's not making
the concept here. To what I said earlier, I think, and I'm curious to know from our millions of fans.
That's right.
Is there clarity in your organization as to what counts as organizational success? Because if we don't have a handle on that, then you can point to anything that's being said or shared to say, oh yeah, that's a good, sure. Yeah, that's great. Thank you. Or you host a town hall and you let everybody say whatever it is that they want to say. And then the executive leadership gets together post town hall and just says to each other, Jackye is so ungrateful. Did you hear what she said in that town hall? They don't care about making any changes. It's more about, let's talk about the people who had the audacity to say something.
By the way, I'll tell you what had me, like, I almost couldn't get out of bed. I almost could not get out of bed. It woke me up in the middle of the night. I could not get out of bed the next morning. Like, there was a report that came out this week that over 300,000 Black women have been laid off since February.
Across all industries
In
and
the
roles?
United States, across all industries.
Okay.
Over 300,000 since February. So the January folks, like me, we're not counted in that number. So we know that it's more than that.
And is there I'm just contextually, because I don't have any numbers in front of me. Do you have an overall layoff number for the year so far? Is there anything?
No, but I can. I'll get it.
I just am curious, like what percentage
that's
of that,
question.
right?
But I don't care about everybody else.
No,
Let's
that's not
just
what you
be
mean to
clear.
say. That's not what you mean to say.
As a Black woman,
No,
really
no.
I'm
I
just
mean,
caring about the
that
300,000.
sounds like a pretty significant number to me. It sounds like a whole lot of people.
Yeah. I mean, but that I couldn't.
I just wonder, it's fascinating to me because what are the industries that have had the most layoffs? Anecdotally, what would you say have been tech?
That's TJ telling me he can't come back to get the banana bread out before I get killed. 800,000.
So 300,000 of the 800,000. I mean, that is a significant number.
That's significant because that number, 800,000, 62,000 was tech, 178,000 federal government. So it's not all government and it's not all tech. Let me look. Hold on.
I wonder how many Black women were in federal government.
A lot.
And that is because that seems like a substantial number in comparison.
Of course, we know that. We know that happened.
Oh yeah.
As of, hold on, I can't do because I'm already like thinking of one. I have ADHD, so I'm thinking of something. So if I'm typing and talking, that's like my fifth thing that I'm doing.
Mark, I remember companies like this for sure.
Let's see. It says nationwide with sharp impacts in Texas. That's me. Over the 90-day period in 2025. It's massive, a nationwide trend, but Texas has emerged as a particularly affected site, partly due to the significant federal downsizing affecting jobs where Black women were overrepresented. Statistics show unemployment rate for Black women has climbed to 5.8%, double of white women. Double.
And Dion was just put in the chat exactly what you were reading. Dion just popped that into the chat as well. Yeah. I mean, it is. Look, the reality is these individuals and this particular, let's be specific, this specific people group that you're talking about, Black women, when they walk into their next role, they're going to bring a voice that's been influenced by what they have recently experienced.
Sure.
It's going to be hard not to.
I think you'd be surprised in the fact that, like I've been a Black woman all my life. Just because this happened this year.
Yeah.
You go in that
but if you won't feel connection, you're going to default to think, I can't trust. I was at a role for 10 years and they got rid of me like that.
When people allow all of that to happen, it also happens when people are trying to hire.
Yes.
That's the part that is so dangerous, thinking even if the people are qualified, well going, like, oh, I heard people, just that fact. And it's not even though it's the reality, like Dion said, it isn't anything new. And the other part of that is that fact that somebody reported on that, and we already know that there's still 500,000, like that's on purpose. because then you can distract from the overall numbers. I can just be
Mm-hmm.
distracted from the
Mm-hmm.
overall numbers, even
Mm-hmm.
though I have impact, because then I'm turning inward. And don't even, now I'm going to have to look at the ugly one.
Which ugly one?
Uh, over the age of 50
Oh,
takes that to a whole number different, and going over that. I mean, I think that I'm looking and it says it doesn't look, but of the overall, what we're looking at, 35%.
this is where I think when we talk about the role of your voice, the employee voice in an organization, there is something um, temporal about it for a couple of reasons. One, not every employee whose voice is a influencer voice in an organization may be there next year at this time, right? There's a transientness that comes with the territory, right?
Yes. Did you see that my hot take yesterday? It was like, we're going to have chief influencer officer of trying to put those voices together,
Yeah,
organizations, because
yeah,
we know it really only takes one voice to take people down in these organizations.
100%.
Title has nothing to do with it, and you have to be careful in the way you're going in.
100%. And I think that we're also in an era of which isn't unusual. Again, with a recessionary economy, it's scoop up time for those organizations that have the liquidity to be able to do it. So when you talk about organizational success and alignment, a year from now, you're going to have one company that has now brought on 2, 3 other companies that, in the last 12 months, because they could get the organization for cheap, so to speak, or, a good deal. And now you're trying to align this organization holistically. And to your point about a chief influencer officer or someone, I'll even say for like a comms director standpoint, right? How are we going to reframe the organization as a result of just this blitz of acquisition? There's a real place for people to do that.
So this is a true story. Company, I was been talking to them, give them the rates. They're too high. We're going through negotiating, going back and forth. And then I'm like, I don't think I should work with them. And they're like, oh, we're not going to be able to make it work. And it's like, now I've got a project. Like, I have to divert traffic in that direction as much as possible. And there are people doing that. If you think there aren't those people that are looking because their voice isn't going to be heard, they will make their voice heard.
Yeah.
If you ain't on the TikTok, you better get on the TikTok, because that could be your whole feed.
Well,
managers on talking to HR has become a sport.
And the problem with that is the more punitive that we make that, the more punitive that this relationship is, it's not going to get better unless we're just as deliberate the other way.
You're not doing yourself any favors. And that's what's unfortunate, because that when we can talk about where you want to go within your organizations, but when you silence one voice, it affects everybody at the organization. And so even though you think it's quiet, and people make that mistake all the time, I'm not hearing things, so I guess it's good.
No news is good news.
It's terrifying.
No news is good news.
They're not talking to you, they are talking about you.
And the employee voice, this is why, again, I'm going to keep coming back to organizational success. Why does retention matter? Right? Why does retention matter? I know that seems silly to say out loud, but
really,
I think a few people need to start asking that question in the organization. Why does retention matter? In some ways, that could be exactly like time to hire. People die on hills for time to hire. And I'm like, well, what is it telling you? What is it that time to hire is telling you?
That we're making bad choices faster?
If I'm in the hospitality industry, what's the premise about retention? Are you telling me I need to be at 10% retention in order to be healthy? It's never going to happen in hospitality that I'll be at 10%. So what's the success metric I'm using? Somebody better help me.
Listen, somebody look that up, because that's important. But I always tell people when they're talking about marriage or whatever, and I always say, did you know that love marriages versus just like arranged marriages have the same divorce rate. Just hire the person. You have the same amount of retention through long stretches of interview processes as you do for phone to hire you've never met. Have a bias to hire. Look at these key skills and give people the training. But what's unfortunate, and mark my words, this is why they're going to be going back, because they realize somebody needs to do that. They're going to give people who have no business the training, and the middle management is going to come back, right? So that they have succession later that has been ignored for 15 years. Because we average only 2 years. You saw the note from AT&T last week of loyalty is dead. And I was like, boo-boo, you just figured that out? You work for freaking AT&T. Like, if you don't know, because AT&T used to be the deal.
Oh, I mean, well, when it was even Bell Telephone, I mean, people were like, that was your lifetime position.
When they went from Ma Bell to Cell, they owned it. It was yours to lose, and you did.
Yep.
And then you're going to blame the people that work there. The fact that you still have people that want to work there.
And this is where I think we get we just get it all twisted. And when you think about technology, in the midst of it, sorry, I got myself all.
I know. It's okay.
When you think about technology, we oftentimes, the metrics that are in there are singular. So you can pull things that talk about your rate of retention, or turnover rate, whatever way you have it set up. What does that, and Dion, it's like you're in my head, by the way. What does that tell you when you look at that turnover number? And not everybody who leaves is it a bad thing?
No,
sometimes I need some of you people to go. Like,
and people right now, you need that more than anyone, because they call it quiet cracking instead of quiet quitting. It's people that hate it that
quiet
are
crapping.
Crack.
Oh, crack.
Having a full nervous breakdown.
It's like, I don't think
quietly.
Nobody in this office is quiet crapping.
No
that's for sure.
Go. They're not just quitting, they're losing it. People are losing their well-being and their mental health, and too afraid to mention it, that we are going to the before times. But the thing that's funny, it's ironic. You know this TV show Severance? Any Severance fans?
Yeah.
You know that was filmed at the New Jersey plant, the big Bell.
The Verizon. Yeah.
And it used to be like, think of it as like the Apple back in the day. It's there in New Jersey. That's where they filmed Severance. So, there's your sign. They do all the scary movies there.
Telecom is a whole beast in and of itself.
I can't even.
Whole beast.
And it still exists. People don't even know. I used to work in telecom. That's where I got my start, was Excel telecommunications.
But this is why I love that, by the way. The reality of industry specific success metrics as well. Your systems ought to be able to give you all, at this point, think about how much we spend on tech. It ought to be able to give you the feedback you need in order to know, do I have the right voices influencing the results that we are looking for? Don't tell me that you're doing well because your turnover rate, for the first 6 months was 12%, and we wanted to get it down from 15 to 12. Okay, can I ask a question? Out of that 12%, how many of them do you wish had stayed? And if you tell me anything over 50%, then what's the goal? What is it why did we lose that many people that you would have liked to have kept? You're looking at the wrong thing for success.
That's the thing. Like, you can take these policies and make it like where they have
George.
He knew. He's broken a bone before.
I mean, right away though, I'm like, crapping. That's no quiet crapping.
I had to, because people of a certain age, we can't get yellow. We sit in the front row, so we got to do all the same thing. I will tell you, and this, listen, you're gonna think that I've lost my mind.
Oh, that has already occurred, so you're good.
So, I've been doing some work with Rippling, and I needed to be able to use the tools. I didn't do that. I had
It's
to
because you're
use
doing this. You
exactly.
had it on your shoulder. Yes.
So I'm showing my broad.
Why are you showing your bra strap?
No, no, no.
That is a tenth of a deduction in gymnastics immediately if you can see your bra strap, just so
No,
you know.
I know. I'm losing my points. So I'm using the thing, and I was like, this is dumb. I was like using it, and I said, I finally get it. I finally get it why this is so important, where you have a tool that puts it all together, where you do have your payroll, your onboarding, your offboarding, your salary, your pay equity, like all of those things in one tool, because they're in so many disparate systems.
Yep.
You can't put together a program to be able to analyze this in a way that you can make the best choices. And now people are so desperately trying to hold on to any power or control and try to make it seem so difficult that you need a person instead of software. It's
Yes.
even harder to find all of these
Yes.
numbers right now to make those decisions. And I was in there, it's all mock because I don't have a full team. I was like, are you telling me I can onboard somebody? I can write a ticket without going to IT. I can give somebody, and it has you with this automated study and education. I was like,
Yes.
I'm sorry, y'all, because I know there are lots of haters of those big HRIS systems, and I know that there are competitors, but those competitors haven't called me and given me free access and a demo. And I'm just telling you,
Yeah. I mean, Nikki knows too. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
sorry, y'all. Rippling's the deal. No, not sponsored. No charge for that.
No charge.
No charge.
But and I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm going to just take the one step back because Rippling ain't sending me a check.
Oh, no.
But the thing that I would say is we across the board, we have plenty of technology at the moment. Could we use one or two other pieces? Of course, but I'm with what you have currently. What is it optimized for? I think if you're worried about employee voice, if you should be, I should say, worried about employee voice, what is it that the data tells us so that we know where to spend our time?
And what do you
use your systems?
That's the thing. Make sure that they connect. And when you purchase your next system right now, think about how are you going to make up for the loss of not having people who are focused on inclusion, fairness, and equity at your organizations, because the problems are still there.
I mean, for sure. If you can't look at success factors, right, for some larger organizations, if you have Workday, if you have, I don't know, whatever you might have access to, if you're using Oracle platforms, if you're using those things for that price tag, that thing ought to do all of it and more and tuck you in at night. Come on, right?
And like
it has to. But if you're small, I'll come all the way down. If you're SMB and you're activating a Rippling, or you're activating Bamboo, or you're activating another smaller-ish platform like that where you can integrate metrics in reporting, what are you building for? I mean, I can add any field that I want into some of these platforms, and I ask people all the time, okay, you're saying this and this, awesome. What did you put into Bamboo that right now that you're tracking that? Oh, I didn't know I could do that. We're not even asking. Why don't you ask your tech what can be done?
Because and I will tell you, little tip from me, a long time ago, I was the director of customer success. And I explained to people, customer success is not.
You were not fired. Let's be clear.
No. People and customer success is not customer service. It's their job to make you successful using the tool that they have. You should be going and calling all of these. I love that. So
I love Aaron. Good morning, buddy.
And I love Maisha too. But you should be using these and calling your customer success people and telling them what the challenge is, because y'all are getting fooled, because some of these tools, they say that they're supposed to help you, but they are causing more noise.
Yeah. Well, you're worried about fulfilling the tool, but it's not really, you're not doing anything with the results because all of your attention is on that.
What it is. You're solving a problem you didn't know you have. And there's software that causes problems and it's solved.
Yes. The problem further is that there are some HR and finance practitioners who long for something more than what they have right now.
Yes.
And they'll spend 2 years lamenting, oh, if only we had, X
Insert.
instead of Y that I have. Listen, I hear you. You can want X. I get it. Start to budget for it, figure out a plan, but don't wait to use Y, the
Mm-mm.
Y software. That don't wait. There's
Right.
stuff that can be
Use
done.
these there. I always, as someone who's worked primarily in software too, I'm always like, listen, use all of the it's so much more difficult than you think to get a role or a task in the software to get approved to enter into this big package. Somebody thought this needs to be there. And it could help you before
Yes.
you do anything. Start with the software,
Yeah.
like Aaron embracing his inner Misha Cannon is saying. It is so hard. It might just be there for a reason.
And if you don't, again, this comes back to organizational success. If you don't know, and your teams and the employee population at large all are operating in a different context of what organizational success is. If they don't really have the framework, and I'm not talking about the nuanced specificity. Obviously, the sales team has a success metric that's
Right.
specific to what their objectives are, just like the engineering or development team may have nuanced objectives that are specific to their roles. But overall, organizationally, what are the success metrics? What are the success realities that we're working towards? Then you can have clarity to know if your employee voice is speaking into any of that. And if not, how do I help that to happen? Because they are still our greatest commodity of influence. We've got people who are running day to day who have a great perspective to be able to offer and say, knowing that this is one of the success metrics we're looking at, let me share a little bit about where we're hitting a wall, where we're having to do too many workarounds. That may be news for some people who are like, oh my gosh, I had no idea it was taking us that long to do
You
that.
have to, and it's scary. I think that it is important for us in the people space, especially, to share some of that information back of where we're going, do the analysis, even if it's just for you, like just curious, because there's so much going on. It's
Yes.
going to become so much more important because when things start going sideways, they're going to look, they're going to look to finance who will screw this up and not keep all of the knowledge and the things that are going there. The fact I saw something, I started doing analysis of software years ago, but started doing it more recently just for AI. And a lot of these tools, their selling point is not having to deal with the pain in the ass HR. And it's like, are you serious right now?
Yeah, that's your selling point.
You're not compliant and you're not using anything. There's no equity. There's no fairness.
I mean,
It's like, okay, good luck, buddy. Good luck.
listen, we're the worst because we just fly through this hour. You
I
all,
mean,
what great comments though, by the way. And those who are watching after the fact, please continue to put comments. Everybody who has been
Aaron,
doing it
I
will
miss
get
you.
notified.
You should
So
be
we
calling
want to
me
keep the
Aaron. We're
conversation.
friends. I thought we were
You,
friends. I'm
yes,
sorry, question.
but he's quoting you. He's quoting you and wants to make t-shirts. So yes.
Okay, see, I knew that he is my besties.
Now, this is Dorothy time, right? I will not have a nice day.
Clink.
Clink.